Today, I want to talk to you about communication interdependencies, and I want to use the example of nodes to do it. So below me, you see, a bunch of different numbers and a bunch of different lines and how all of them connect. And so this is the idea of a node or a network. And what I don't think most organizations consider when they think about either implementing their strategic plan or communicating as an organization is that fundamentally you are a group of nodes, a group of individual components that need to connect and work together. So a little bit of background on me. I've been facilitating strategic planning sessions for the past 10 years, and we help organizations improve their leadership team's effectiveness. And we do that through strategic planning and leadership training. And one of the critical components or critical capacities that we look at when we talk about strategy implementation is the ability to communicate. Now, you might have heard of kind of like top-down communication or bottom-up communication or across communication within an organization, but have you considered communication interdependencies? So what does interdependencies mean? It means that I depend on you to get something, and you depend on somebody else, and somebody else depends on someone else, etc., etc. And why I find that is super relevant to strategic plans and overall effectiveness is because if you don't consider the interdependencies of communication and you only consider communication one way or two way, you're missing out on part of the picture. So for example, let's say you're a CEO and you need something from your finance department. Great. But that person in the finance department requires information from a bunch of other sources. And those sources need information from other people. And so on and so forth. So if you only look at communication one way or two way, going down or going up, then you're missing the across and all of the prerequisites and all of the kind of outcomes of that communication. So when you think of strategic plans, that you have, a strategic plan champion, and then you have all of the different strategic priorities, for those strategic priorities to be successful, they need information from above, they need information from below, they need information across, and they need information around the organization in order to be able to kind of move the needle and accomplish their goals. So one of the training workshops that we do when we have our implementation package is talk about communication interdependencies. For you to be successful in your component of the strategic plan, what information do you need and from whom? And then we do that at the leadership team level so that everybody else can get a big picture to say, hey, like if you need that information from me, well, I need that information from that person. And this person needs information from over there. And sometimes the logic is kind of circular, which shows how interconnected a successful strategic plan is. If you want to accomplish your strategic plan successfully, you cannot do it in a silo. And the first way to kind of break down that silo is to have a conversation around communication interdependencies, how your team is going to communicate and continue to communicate as you move forward your strategic initiatives and move forward your work towards your vision. And if you're not sure on how to have that conversation, then you reach out to our team at SME Strategy. We can tell you about how we start teams off with alignment, making sure we're all on the same page moving forward, and then implementing and taking the steps to unpack that strategic plan. What I want to leave you with is consider, how does your team communicate? And are you communicating in a way that is sufficient for you to accomplish your goals? If you're feeling like you're in a silo and people aren't getting the information that they need, then you might not have fully considered the communication interdependencies that your organization's success rely on. So I hope you enjoyed today's video on communication interdependencies. I hope it challenges you to take the next step in order to move that forward with your team and start breaking down those silos and moving effectively together. So my name is Anthony Taylor. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe, connect with us, and I'd love to hear your comments on how does your team communicate in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again.